Hey everybody, Robin here with Oracle Rising. How's it going? Thanks for joining me on the channel today. So I did a video a little while ago about reincarnation, and I promised you guys that I would do a video on how to stop reincarnating because a couple people commented how they're not having such a fabulous time here. And maybe you're done. You know, some souls choose to never come down to earth school because it's so challenging and, you know, shattering. So here's that video. As promised, I have 7 tips for you to follow in order to hopefully stop reincarnating, unless you guys are having an absolute blast and you want to keep on coming down here. But the thing is, you don't generally remember your past lives, right? Which is why people do past life regressions and hypnosis. And I do believe that very young children remember their past life. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie Rosemary's Baby or read the book, which was yikes, really intense book. But anyway, I'm just going to launch. So the first point I have here, and I do my research across a bunch of different websites and I pull what resonates with me the most and then I transmit it to you guys. So to release ego and ambition. So I should have pulled a definition of ego. You know, the ego is sort of your false front that gets really offended when other people say negative things to you, or ego is the thing that makes you want to be the first at everything, you know, be on top, be the winner. It drives people, hello politics, to do things that are just a little bit unscrupulous sometimes. Not saying that you are, but your ego, and maybe do some research on your own, you guys, about ego. And then there's ambition. You know, I worked in environments where people just, they're so focused on themselves that they don't even really think about who they're stepping on. And that's a little bit to do with ego also, but ambition can get really ugly where people forget who they are and the people that they're serving. And, you know, so I find that one very interesting, and I find it a little bit difficult to separate that out myself. Because I think everybody has ambitions on what they want to do for their life, but I really get this sense that this, when they talk about this kind of ambition, relates to like climbing to the top of a corporate ladder, or, you know, something really where you can stand on top of the Empire State Building and beat your chest for a little while. Do you know what I mean? So the second point here is to simplify your life. And I actually really love this one. I'm not a fan of cities. I live sort of in a suburb outside of a city, and I think city life is just disgusting, at least mine anyway. I live in a really violent city, and it's filthy. It's just absolutely filthy, and I grew up in the country, so for me, that would be what simplifying my life would be, and just to sort of dial it back and not have so many, like I don't need a lot of what I would call, just one sec, guys. You know, I don't live a glamorous lifestyle. I have everything I need, but, you know, I'm not living in a $1 million mansion or anything like that. And even if I had that amount of money, I probably never would. You know, I like to keep it simple, be comfortable, and trust that everything is going to be provided for me that I need. And this is what that means by simplifying your life. You know, it doesn't have to be, you know, with a Maserati in the driveway or own a yacht or stuff like that. It's just a little bit over the top. And once you get to a certain age, you might even look ridiculous. So anyway, so the third point I have here for you guys is to stop controlling. And this means controlling the people around you. Stop controlling your circumstances, because you're not in control anyway, and it can be absolutely exhausting to pretend that you are. And this also ties into the ego and wanting things to go a certain way. So, of course, always do your own research, you guys. You know, if you want to take notes during the video so you can check on things after, especially pain points. If something makes you react in a negative way, there's some healing that can be done for you. That's called a trigger. All right, so I love this one here. Treat your body like a temple. So leading a clean lifestyle is super important. Your body doesn't react the same way. It's susceptible to disease and wearing down when you put things into your body that are not clean. So perfect examples are tobacco, any sort of, non-prescription drugs. And, my stance on that is to be very careful with prescription drugs also. I'm not going to go on a tangent on Western medicine because I think you've heard it before. The things that you eat and the things that you drink. I really limit caffeine. That's about the extent of anything negative that I put into my body these days. There was a time when it wasn't that way. Got a plane coming in, hold on. Anyway, so, but now I have a really clean lifestyle, and I do yoga and I do qigong, and I'll have 1 cup of tea in the morning that has caffeine in it, and then I'll switch over to herbal tea. I'll drink a decaf green tea and chamomile. And other than that, I just drink distilled water. I remove all the toxins from it using a water pitcher. And, you just notice after you've been eating and drinking clean for a while how horrible your body feels when you have fast food or, anything that is just junky, and I'm a huge junk food fan, but I'm also aware of what it does to my body. So you have to kind of take that into consideration, what you're putting into your body, and also exercising your body, taking care of it, obviously grooming and stuff like that. So the 5th point that I have here is to recognize God in all things. So whatever God means to you, you can take it that way. Like if you're part of a coven, or if you're like a nature worshiper, or you're more spiritual than religious, God is the universe. God is the source of all. So you just recognize that God has a hand in everything around you, no matter what you call God, in the trees, in the grass, and the rest of the animals around you, the people around you, every single thing, so having that recognition is super important. So whatever that looks like for you, just take that under advisement. And then having a gratitude practice, you guys, which is absolutely beautiful, and you can tell the difference between people that are grateful and people that are not, simply by their demeanor. I have a friend of mine that he's always so happy and grateful, and that's because he really resonates with the God frequency, and I think it's really beautiful. And this doesn't mean that you have to be doing this 100% of the time. You're here to experience all emotions, and sometimes things are not going to go 100% your way, and you could have a breakdown and, sort of flip people off, and just try not to make it like part of your ordinary life. It should be a slip up, you know what I'm saying? So be grateful, say thank you, try to say thank you right before you go to bed, and again when you wake up, and have your gratitude affirmations, or listen to gratitude subliminals like I do. Just always practice gratitude, say thank you. I'm just gonna, like, you guys, I used to be a server for a while, and some people were so rude, and it really, like, how were they in the rest of their life, if you can't be nice to the person bringing you food, it just really always blew my mind. And just for an example, I served a lot of people that I would go up, I was in the morning, right? So I'd go up to their table and say, good morning, how are you today? And I'd get snapped at, coffee. And I would say, oh, I'm fine, thanks, or I would drop something off at their table and they wouldn't even look at me, and I would say, you're welcome, you know what I mean? It's just that kind of interaction. Like, it's everything is a conversation with the universe, so just be mindful of that too. And then the last point that I have here is like to recognize your need to stop chasing things, because when you're allowing things to come in, you're putting yourself into what is called receiver mode. And you don't have to chase the things that are meant for you. You know, everything that is meant to be your gift will find you and present itself in divine and perfect timing. And it's also one of those things that is going to be exhausting to you if you're continually chasing something down. Okay, so keep that in mind, you guys. So this was the short list that I could find and made sense to me. And like I said, it really resonated with me. So you can add or subtract or, you know, make things make sense for you. But for me, I'd really rather choose to not come back down to earth again. You know, I really do believe that I'm part of the transition team here to raise the vibration of the planet, but it's also really painful, you know, as a empath and a light worker, to see what people are capable of doing, you know. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the list, and let me know which one of these really resonated with you the most. And I just saw angel number 111. There was actually 4 of them, 1111. So I think that's a beautiful number. So feel free to check that out after I sign off, which is going to be momentarily. So guys, namaste and stay blessed. Okay, bye. Bye.